I must have seen this movie 20 times throughout my life, which is easy because this movie is only 81 minutes long, but every minute something interesting is happening. When you ask me, the best movies are the ones where not a single second feels wasted. Movies that grab you by the throat and just don't let go. Phone Booth, for me, manages that just as well as other all-time classics from that particular time period, such as Fight Club, American Psycho, and The Talented Mr. Ripley, some of my all-time favorite films. Every time I watch Phone Booth, it takes me back to that period of my life in an instant. The way this movie opens is so indicative of how movies felt back in the early 2000s. High contrasts? Check. Movie looks kinda blue and green at the same time? Check. Aggressive cuts and interesting camera shots? Check. If I had to compare the look and feel of this movie's opening scene, it would be the anti-piracy ad everyone around my age remembers. Would you download a Phone Booth?
Why not?
We are following Stuart Shepard, an arrogant and dishonest New York City publicist who has been planning an affair with a client behind the back of his wife, Kelly. From the first moments of his appearance, we can be sure of one thing. This guy is a big old douchebag, and that's part of what makes the next 70 minutes absolutely brilliant. Stu steps into a phone booth and weirdly gets a pizza delivered. The delivery guy is like,
"Gentlemen occupying phone booth, 53rd between Broadway and 8th.
And of course Stu, as charming as he is, says,
Fuck off. There you go, $5. Eat the pizza yourself. You look like you could use a good meal.
Stuart then calls Pam, the woman he has an affair with, and after the call finishes, the phone suddenly starts ringing. And who's on the line? Kiefer Sutherland. I mean, not as himself, but you know what I mean. That voice.
You hear a phone ring and it could be anybody. But a ringing phone has to be answered, doesn't it?
What?
It's something, man. Kiefer Sutherland's intimidating voice and cadence and the stuff he says on the phone and the way he says it, chastising and threatening Stu, that would scare the shit out of me. The mysterious caller tells Stu that he is watching him and that he may or may not be currently looking at him through the scope of a sniper rifle. If Stu steps out of the booth, he dies. Over the course of the movie, the sniper's sole motivation seems to be to make Stuart accept that he's in fact an asshole and to make him admit to all of his wrongdoings. And if he doesn't act as instructed, there will be consequences.
That's not very nice, Stu.
This soundtrack, fucking masterpiece. But there's another element of threat. This particular phone booth that Stu is in seems to be the only one in the near vicinity. So of course there's other people who'd like to use it, and they themselves are not the most chill, down-to-earth people. So, as the pressure rises for Stu inside of the phone booth at the same time, the pressure is building outside as well. Listen, I don't really want to tell you whatever else happens in the movie because there's so many interesting, fun twists. We are in real time witnessing this guy's personality change as he is talking to this man who is essentially acting as a deadly therapist. This whole movie feels like someone is putting a rope around your neck, and slowly as time goes by and shit starts hitting the fan, the more the rope gets tighter and tighter. It's absolutely exhilarating. The entire film takes place in one tight space, in one of the tightest, smallest places you can find in a public environment. You don't see that a whole lot. That alone is already a great premise to me if done well, and goddammit, Phone Booth pulls that off fantastically. As I mentioned, this movie is only 81 minutes long, and when you watch this, you'll see that there's zero fat on this film. I love that. I don't care much for movies that have a straightforward premise, but then stretch out their runtime by adding a bunch of side stories and scenes that just end up feeling unnecessary because someone doesn't know how to properly pace their work. Phone Booth knows exactly what story it wants to tell from start to finish, how much needs to be said and done, and how much needs to be shown in which way, in order to keep your eyes glued to the screen. There is no downtime. Now mix that with outstanding, authentic performances by everybody involved, and especially Colin Farrell and Kiefer Sutherland, and you got yourself some of the best 81 minutes you'll spend watching a thriller. It's not an Oscar winner, which actually these days is quite the compliment, but Phone Booth is one of the most unique and entertaining movies I watched that has stuck with me for decades. It's thought-provoking but never pretentious. All around, it's just a fun-ass movie. If you haven't seen this one, and you like a good thriller, this is the one you need to watch next. And if you have seen it, and you're not sure if it aged well, let me tell you, this movie feels exactly how you remember it, if not better. So, yeah, that's about it. See you next time.